Life, Mississippi.
Thank you, Ann. According to post-election polling, 26% of voters said no to personhood because they believed it would ban contraceptives. 31% said they voted no on this amendment because they believed it would ban IVF. Even when a detailed legal analysis from the Mississippi Center for Public Policy proved that it would not, they persisted in scaring voters. And opponents of personhood showed their true colors by opposing efforts in the legislature that specifically exempted IVF. I am a woman who has felt the pain of infertility, and I am completely offended that people try to use the emotional issue of infertility to protect abortion. A few years back, I experienced 3 short-term miscarriages, and after that I found out I was expecting again. After weeks and months passed and my doctor assured my husband and I that everything would be fine this time, my heart was overjoyed because I finally was going to be what I've wanted to be my entire life, a mommy. During week 32 of my pregnancy, complications arose. And unfortunately, my husband and I's beautiful baby boy, Dakota Dale, went to be with Jesus on November 2nd of 2007. After his birth, more complications arose, and the doctors informed my husband and I that it would be very unlikely that we would ever conceive again. That was in 2007. My question for you is why? Why oppose personhood when it stands up for IVF? It protects IVF. Personhood protects the innocent lives of every one of these precious babies and their mothers whose hearts will never be the same. After almost 40 years of abortion being legal in the United States of America, Mississippi has been known to be a pro-life state. But precious lives, just 2 miles down the road, 2 miles, precious lives are slaughtered every single time those abortion clinic doors are open. It's time that we as Mississippians stand up together and say, enough is enough. We are pro-life. We are through with abortion. I now would like to introduce a good friend of mine and someone I admire, a wonderful nurse. Her name is Tanya Britton. She is also a pro-life board member.
Yes, my name is Tanya Britton, and I am a registered nurse. 32 years ago, I took the following pledge. This is part of it. It is the Nightingale Pledge, and it is a pledge that was written based on the Hippocratic Oath that physicians take. And in part it says, I will abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous, and I will not take or knowingly administer any harmful drug. I will do all in my power to maintain and elevate the standard of my profession, and that is why I stand here today. Most nurses I know are pro-life. Those who sit on the fence are afraid. They are afraid if they speak up when things are wrong, if they are asked to participate in things that they know are wrong. If they know this and they stand by and they don't speak up, then people do die. Sometimes it's an adult. Sometimes it is a person that you may not be able to see with your naked eye. And sometimes it is a child who certainly is able to survive outside of the womb. I say to you today, I call on physicians and nurses and healthcare providers. Stand strong, you know the truth, and you know the truth about personhood. You of all professions should be the ones out front supporting this legislation. When we suffered that temporary setback, and it was temporary, because at some point, all people will be declared persons, whether you can see them with your naked eye or not. The size of a person, where they live and breathe, even in the womb, matters not. They are all entitled to the right to life. So this temporary setback that, for Amendment 26, our former Governor Haley Barbour said, number one, that we should have gone through the legislature with the amendment that says life begins at conception. We should have gone through the legislature and the language, life begins at conception. He also said we should have addressed the concerns that voters had with 26, and it would, quote, breeze through, unquote, something that my sisters have just spoken of. We've done just that. It did not breeze through. In fact, the day that our legislature tabled personhood in the House, 25 babies died just that day. Again, represented by these 25 empty strollers. Before the election, Pro-Life Mississippi paid to publish the names of legislative candidates who had signed a personhood pledge. They promised to support personhood if they were elected. 54 of these signers were elected. We will be checking in the coming days to see which legislators actually supported personhood and other pro-life legislation. 54 of you all were elected. We will work with Personhood Mississippi to ensure that pro-life constituents know which statesmen are truly principled and which politicians are pro-life in name only. We, the Women for Personhood, Pro-Life Mississippi, and Personhood Mississippi vow to stay in the fight until every child and every woman in our state is protected, not only by the law, but by love. Thank you.